From the bridge of the Iron Duke berthed in Estonia, Nick Ferrari, LBC's premier presenter, grills Sir Keir Starmer.
Everyone should pay their way, shouldn't they, Prime Minister?
Yes, and Europe, has to...
So what's your message to Italy, to Spain, to other countries that don't, to Belgium?
I'm not going to sit here in an interview and start telling allies
but they don't pay their dues,
what they
do?
must do. All of our allied countries make a huge contribution to our collective defence.
For the love of all that is holy, show some spunk, man. It's apparent we do not have an Iron Duke Prime Minister. Our allies do not contribute enough to defence, apart from Poland. Without question, they must. Andrew Neil, renowned broadcaster, needs no introduction. Here is what he thinks.
Every day the world becomes a more dangerous place, yet the government still prevaricates on when it will raise defence spending from 2.3% of GDP to 2.5%, even though 2.5% would still be inadequate to our needs in these dangerous times.
On the same issue, Robert Fox, the Evening Standard's defence editor, stressed the importance of defending the realm.
One thing that I fear, and I'm not convinced by the defence of the Labour record nor what happened in the past, I'm not saying it's all bad, there has got to be a clear sense of direction. What the Starmer administration has to understand is that this is serious, this is real, it's not a luxury, it's an obligation, but also for the security of the nation which they're supposed to represent, it is vital.
Lord Richard Dannett, former Chief of the General Staff, has said on many occasions the implications of reducing the armed forces.
And how many times have we talked about how small the British Army is today? If we were to take over a sector of that 800-kilometre front line, let's say Britain became responsible for 100 kilometres of that 800-kilometre front line, we would need really quite a sizable force, probably 5,000 to 10,000 soldiers to adequately contain that 100 kilometres. If we're going to deploy that sort of force, we'll be doing it on an enduring basis, so it need 4 times that number. And my goodness, we quite quickly run out of soldiers. So I think this is something that the Prime Minister and the Secretary of State for Defence will be quite wary of getting into. It might sound wonderful to say, yes, if the Russians allow it, we'll put a British contingent in. But my goodness, it would strain the Ministry of Defence. And then they'd have to really think about increasing the amount of money spent on defence. Forget 2.5, go through 3% to 3.5%. And then we're talking.
The smartest speakers in the UK, all collectively speaking from the same microphone. Defence spending, currently 2% of GDP, is inadequate. 2.5% is 3 to 3.5%. Yes, is where we need to be.